in our news section this week, for our next episode, myself, Jordan, and Oz, we all meet for the first time. So we're meeting at the MVP Summit. Jordan's one of those special MVPs, and so he's going to be there. And hey, he can't go anywhere without bringing me and Oz. So we're going too. Can't stop us from being there. So we'll be there as well, and so we're going to do some recording while we're there. Hopefully we can get a hold of a few of the MVPs and talk to some of the product leaders and all that sort of stuff while we're there. So that will be a good portion of the next show. Also have a few other things to share with you. So I'm going to share my screen here. One moment. This weekend is the first round of Modeloff. So, if you want to compete against the very best in the world, financial modeling, that first round is this weekend. I actually have something to share on this. Come back to me.
So I wonder, Dave, will you be competing in Modeloff?
No, not this year. I'm busy building a course on formulas, which is probably going to take me like 5 years.
Okay, all right. But you've done it in the past?
No, I never have. I'm super interested in modeling. I consider it to be kind of, the final destination. Oh. But I feel like I'm sort of like down in the trenches right now, so I can't go there, otherwise I'll never get anything done.
So, I met a guy at the company that I'm consulting at out here in California. I was talking to some of the people around. There's only like one or two people there who know that I do this show, and that I'm involved in Excel TV, and one of them had heard one of the people in finance talk about they were going to be doing this big financial modeling competition this weekend. And so he came over and he introduced me. He says, "Oh, Rick is the only other person I've ever heard talk about this." And so we just geeked out for like 45 minutes. It was awesome. So I brought up all the websites and everything else. It was fun. So it's kind of cool that just, random finance guy out here in Irvine, California, sitting in his cubicle. I'm sitting there talking with him, and he's just geeked out and can't wait to do the Financial Modeling World Championship this weekend. So it was pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Models are cool.
Fun stuff. Jordan, you also had some news?
I do. Okay, so many of you have been waiting on my book, so the Dashboards for Excel book. So here is the exciting news that's going on. I've written a lot of pages of that book, and it's giant now. And I'm actually bringing on Chandu as a second author to help me finish the book. But that's not the exciting news. The exciting news is that I'm actually publishing a smaller book from that big book. So this is a bit of an abridged version, and that is coming out October 29th. So that's actually coming out this month. So 250 pages of some great content. I'm going to show you where you can get it. So 2 places to get it. You can jump on Amazon. Advanced Excel Essentials. You see, I just typed it and searched it. I have to search my own book. I don't have a direct link. Amazon's probably your best place to get it because you can get a discount. And I don't know why I'm telling you that because that takes out of my royalties, but I do want you actually to get a discount. You should try that. So Amazon is a good place to get it if you want to get it in the ebook form. You can jump over to apress.com. You can buy it when it will be available in PDF. So I don't think it makes it to a PDF on Amazon site. So you can go to apress.com and you can search for it, or you can go to Amazon. And also, if you've pre-ordered my book, so the big book, if you pre-ordered the Dashboards book and you're still waiting on that and you want to get your hands on this copy, let me know. Drop me an email, and I can see if I can get you a discount or even get it for free. And on top of that, I'm going to see, and we're going to probably fight with the publisher on this a little bit, if I can release a chapter or two on my blog. So stay tuned. Exciting things are going to be happening. I do want to give one last caveat about this book. I'll just switch to it. If you know me, you know that I love advanced stuff. So unlike the Dashboards book, which has a lot more information and theory behind it, this is very much an in-and-out book, and it's very much an advanced book. So if you have an intermediate level of VBA, an intermediate level of formulas, you should do great. But even if you don't, if you just want to be able to learn more, if you have a desire and thirst to learn more and do things differently, then this is a book for you. So hopefully everyone here on the panel is going to be buying one. Is that right? Do I have that right? You guys all want one?
Looking forward to it. Absolutely.
Thank you. Where did that come from?
I lied to your audience.
Hey, so Jordan, can you talk a little bit about how this is different from your dashboard book? So the larger book was a dashboard book. I noticed the title of this had nothing to do with dashboards.
Right. So there is some material from the dashboards book, but this book is it's a lot more. Let me think how to say this. It's a lot more of an expression of the stuff that I read about on my blog. So the really advanced stuff and the really contrarian stuff. So the arguing about Hungarian notation in this book, it puts the argument to rest. No, but it really actually comes in. It's very much a manifesto for how I believe. So there are things in there that I'm going to argue you should do differently. You know, it's not things I've seen before. I won't go so far as to say that I'm the first one to write about them, because I'm probably not. You know, there's nothing really ever new. But I think that as far as new Excel books go, this brings an alternative perspective, and it brings an alternative perspective because from a lot of what we learn initially, so we may learn to use macro recording, we may learn to code a certain way and not necessarily have ever challenged that. So this book will challenge that. You don't have to really agree with me, but I think at the end of the day, it's all about identifying the core principles. So what makes an advanced development? Well, it's these philosophies, and they extend from this point. So this book is very much about, you know, coding style. This is how I believe you should code. This is how I believe you should set up formulas. And here's why. So what works, what doesn't, and why.
Okay, so when you say what makes something advanced is the core philosophy?
Well, you know, it's advanced applications of topics, but there is a core philosophy in there, so that, you know, I'm not, I wish I had known, I wish I had better done these questions to sell a book, but there is this idea that I have that, you know, we sort of code, we do things with VBA. Our style, the way we code and the style we code isn't necessarily one that we've put a lot of thought into. It's one that we've done because we did it because the people before us did it that way, and the people before them did it that way. I make it sound like this is years and years old, but I came in, for example, knowing Hungarian notation, but I'm very much against using Hungarian notation now. And I think that the fact that people do use Hungarian notation, it constrains the way we think about this problem. So we have to be able to move past it. Now, people may disagree, but I think that as they see the work in the book, they'll see that there's something to this idea that we just can't keep doing things the way that we used to do them.
So,
I don't want to give it all away.
Jordan, so it sounds like the book has got like your opinion in it, like pretty clearly.
Yes, it does. It does. Yep.
Awesome. I mean, I think that's one of the big problems, right, in the world especially in the world of IT, is that there's all these tools, and you know, and there's a zillion tips you can find on the web. Everything is the best 23 whatever. But what's missing a lot of times is the person who's really got that strong opinion about how you should do something, and that's really helpful. Like, I mean, whether you agree with it or not, like, that's awesome.
No, thank you. I very much I agree with what you said, because I think that there's opinion missing from many of these books, and I think that people they understand what to do, they don't always understand why to do it. And when I say why, I don't mean like why to make Excel. I mean why from the basis level. Why do we code this way? Why have we been using Hungarian notation? I mean, I can tell you why, because before that it came from Visual Basic 6.0. You know, and from before that it was because Visual Basic 6.0 didn't have strict types, so you needed it. Well, I don't know if you needed it, but the point is, you know, it's always worth asking, you know, what are the first principles? And I'm trying to really go down to that point, and then for me, how does that express into this advanced application? Man, I'm making this sound really philosophical, but it is very much an in and out book too. So, you know, there's technical wisdom in there you can use.
Why do you see this as important? Somebody wants to add up a column. Where's there room for opinion?
Well, maybe there is and there isn't, depending on how they want to do that. But another way about it is that there aren't, because we sort of are okay with that, there haven't been a whole lot of advanced books. So I don't think that there have been niche applications of advanced books, except for maybe professional Excel development, which is my favorite book. But people seem to shy away from that because they just want to teach these very basic concepts, and so every new book that comes out is like beginning Excel 2013. Well, where is the advanced book that's trying to take take people to the next level. Now, for many people, that isn't the audience. I mean, there are people who should not read this book who will not have any interest in it. But for people who are building very advanced Excel applications, who have not thought about ways to do things differently, many people who I've met, they really like this. I mean, because I'll show them stuff in training, and they'll be like, "Whoa!" Just kind of like you, Dave showed us that search feature. Like, I really like that search feature, and I never even thought to do that. And that's formulas and it's conditional formatting. There's no VBA, but people will want to do something like that in VBA. They'll create a whole search functionality in VBA. You know, in 1 second they could build this formula. The formula is hard to understand, but once you know it, it's not hard to understand anymore.
And you're not gonna forget anymore.
And Dave, why did you say that?
The opinion? Well, mostly because I just think, like, when people know something well enough to be good at it, and I think often that means they've tried a couple different approaches, right? Like they maybe, had a certain bias going into it, and they stuck with that for a while, but then later, as they got better at something, they decided they didn't like, that approach as much. I just feel like when somebody's got real skill, then they become more of a craftsman, and I think, people that are craftsmen have strong opinions. That's just how they are. And I feel like that's a great perspective, because somebody like that who, they can just say, look, there are 10 ways to do this thing, and they'll all get you to the same result. But but I'd recommend that you just do it this way, because I can tell you right now it's a good way to do it. And like, that's super valuable, because then you don't have to spend the other time, especially if you're the analytical type, right? Then what happens is every time you got to do a problem, you'll sit down and analyze the 5 ways you could do it for a few days before you start. And that, that's kind of fun, but it's funner to have somebody just tell you, especially when you know they're good, just tell you how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So listen to me. No, I don't know. I hope I'm a craftsman. I hope I'm manifesting those things.
So guys, somewhere right around here, by the time this is published out in the next few days, you'll see a link up here in the video to be able to get over to Jordan's book. You probably would have seen it 4 or 5 times already. So feel free to go ahead and click on that link, and that'll take you directly to Jordan's book over on Amazon and A-Press and all those places. So you can take a look at it and go ahead and check it out.